All that is required for a crisis to fester is for parties involved to shun dialogue as well as refusal of others to intervene. The former Senate minority leader and senator representing Ekiti South Senatorial District, Biodun Olujimi, has pleaded with Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, that of Oyo, Makinde, and others, as well as other aggrieved members of his team in the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to sheath their swords and support the party to win the 2023 presidential election. Senator Olujimi, who commended Governor Wike and the aggrieved members of his team for fighting for justice, equity, and fairness in the party, urged them to look at the bigger picture of rescuing Nigeria. Wike, now this is a woman talking, also from the South. Do you think Governor Wike will at least?
I have my doubts. I think it has reached the point now that it has almost reached the point of no return for the governor. Yes, I remember when we interviewed him, he told us that it is possible for them to have some reconciliation. He did not want to rule out the possibility of his demands being met and then the party coming together as one. But at the rate, the PDP's argument is that the elections are too close. And for that reason, they cannot change their national chairman. I think I agree with them. You have elections in February. To change your national chairman at this stage is kind of risky because you don't know who is coming. There will be you could be battling with some crises in the aftermath of that change. So that's what they are scared to confront. But no one can argue that Wike does not have a valid point. His valid point is, look, this party has a tradition. Once the party presidential candidate comes from a particular region, then the national chairman will go to the opposite region. This has not been complied with this time around, and that's why he's fighting and he has a lot of support. Because if a lot of the people supporting, apart from Governor Tom, they are from the south, from Cross River, from everywhere. So I know it's tough, but the party thinks that there is a bigger risk in changing their chairman so close to the election. And as long as they continue to stick to their guns, I don't think Wike will back down. So I sympathize with Senator Olujimi. No one can be happy watching his party going through the kind of the crisis that PDP is going through at a time when they should be consolidating and seeing how they can unseat the ruling party. They are battling with crisis, and APC, wherever they are, they will be happy that, look, this crisis should continue so that they won't even have the time to properly coordinate themselves and face their main opponent. You know, the Yorubas, even sometimes, the Yorubas will pray that Oyotami, don't let him have the latitude or the time to be able to focus on me. You know, this is the situation that they found themselves in. With every opportunity to talk, Wike is demarketing the PDP. There's no doubt about it.
Paul Adam.
I think the PDP may lick its wounds again in February, just like it did in 2015. It brought this upon itself. Very avoidable, but this is what we get when people promote their self-interest above group interest. You know, Senator Olujimi advising Wike and co to sheath their swords and all of that. Well, maybe she should also have some advice for the chairman of the party and its candidates. I don't know how they're going to resolve their issues. But the thing is that Wike seems to have crossed the Rubicon. It's only a Wike that can go to a state and endorse the candidate of another party where its own party has a candidate that is,
The thing, once you are seen to appear to support Atiku, they will move against you.
And yes, that they are doing that already. There are some people in the NWC that say they have been sidelined. Even there are people in the NWC that have been sidelined also by this Yoshari. I think PDP should find a way of correcting itself. What might happen is that these 5 governors will work for the PDP at their level, their own candidates, senatorial, governorship, and all of that. But many of their followers may not even vote for a presidential candidate, while others will vote for the other parties. So if PDP loses in this election, it defeated itself.
All right, gentlemen, Governor Wike has said all this drama we are seeing is nothing compared to what is coming. So, Wike, I'm curious, what is stopping the PDP from suspending him?
I don't know. I told him that he could be suspended that day. I said, no one can be bigger than his party. I think that was the last question, and I said, no one can be bigger than his party. You could be suspended. He got angry. I said, why don't they do it now? Now, today.
He dared them to do it.
So, I think he probably has something in store. The man has a good political brain. When I sit with you for up to an hour, just gisting, I will know how solid you are politically. He has a good political brain, and no one has seen the last of this matter.
Yeah.
No one. No one knows exactly what he's planning. He is capable of all sorts of things.
But then,
by coming out, even now to say he's employing 14,000 people, no one expected it. But these are the people who man the polling stations.
Exactly.
These are the people who do the what the Americans call get out the vote, who will go and be knocking on people's doors on election day and even before the election. It's very important to have such people, people, whether they are volunteers or people recruited for that purpose. It's very important because many people don't come out on election day. You have to go and wake them up. It's time for you to exercise your franchise. Come out. It helps. And the party able to do that effectively, they always win.
Yeah.
They always win. So in the U.S., parties commit so much funds to the Get Out the Vote brigade. The people who help them, to go and be knocking on doors and getting people to come and vote. No one knows what Wike is planning. If he says that, then I'm really worried for his party.
All right, gentlemen. Now, before we go, for the purpose of this discussion and the discussion we had before now, I would like you to assess conflict prevention and resolution mechanisms of Nigeria's top 2 political parties, and that's the PDP and the APC. Have we seen any growth, or is it worse?
Well, they say something that if people don't learn from history, history repeats itself. We've seen some political parties, correct the conflicts in their midst. Of course, where you have politicians, you must always have conflicts because it's a convergence of different interests. But some very strong interests that people don't want to let go, interests that are very important to them. It's like, if I don't have my way, I'm going to die. It's almost like that for so many people. So people are coming with such mentality. But then, a lot of people, there has to be a way of, solving this. And we've seen parties do that. We've seen that happen in APC, for example. We've seen that happen. For example, we just talk about the PCC's stuff. But it has not been in every case. Even we see what happened in Adamawa State. For the first time you had a woman win governorship election, the primary, and then somebody took her to court, and the court said, you don't have candidates. That's what the court said. You don't have a candidate. Now, the point is, I think politicians still have a lot to learn. We've seen cases where matters were resolved amicably, but there's a lot politicians need to learn on giving up selfish interest for the group one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Podada. Let's quickly take Campbell from Kano. Hello, Campbell.
Thank you, my sister. Babajide, how are you?
We are fine. No.
And Dada dear.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
My question that I want to ask you people is that what is Wike wants to do that Alimadu Sheriff has not done? That is my question. Thank you.
No, there are different. Alimadu Sheriff was not a sitting governor. Wike controls the state that gives PDP the most votes. Yes. Rivers is guaranteed to give PDP more than 1 million votes, a little more than 1 million votes every time. So you can't wish him away, and he is the main financier of the party.
Yeah.
A lot of the people who won primary elections, he actually sponsored them. So with somebody who has such a war chest, when he's against you, it's dangerous because he can use the resources at his disposal to fight you at every turn, even in different states.
Yeah.
So that's why you can't even be compared to Alimadu Sheriff. Alimadu Sheriff was largely using the courts.
Yeah.
And that time was not an election time. It was with the prospect of facing the election with this crisis is a dangerous one.
And when Wike wanted him out, he was out.
So,
I mean, Alimadu Sheriff. Yeah.
No, the courts. He later lost in court.
Yes.
And Akarfi became.
Yes.
Yes, he became the national chairman.
You know, one of the allegations against Wike is that when he wants someone out, he gets it. He wants secondaries out, he wants it. But he's at a position of advantage. You know.
You always, in politics, you can't always have your way.
Yeah.
The reason crisis fester in parties, as you asked, is because many politicians are not prepared to give up their personal interest for the collective interest. People insist, no, it has to be my person. It has and sometimes that person that you are insisting upon is not even validly qualified. You know? So,
all right, thank you
crisis,
very much.
and when you now cheat those people, they go to court.
Mikio, thank you very much for your insight on all our discussions today. Mr. Podada, thank you very much for coming. And thank you very much for watching. That's all on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program.